Hey everybody. I don't know if you noticed, but thanks to a friend of mine on Facebook, I got a message saying that cops had run over people on the street in Tacoma. And I was like, what? That cannot be possible. I looked it up. Sure enough, there's 3 or 4 different camera views of a person getting run the fuck over by a Tacoma police cop. The whole thing looks real bad. I did my best to make sure it was real and it had just happened, all the regular things. And then I was like, well, I should check with some Twitter homies, activists here in town and such, make sure there's not something happening tonight. There was, so I rattled on down there and I walked the perimeter like I like to do. Being a radical leftist journalist, I like to get a lay of the land. I like to see if there's snipers. I want to see where we're at as a society, when things like this pop off. Because I want people to be safe. I want to be able to help the organizers. If the cops are about to start rampaging, I want to see if they're staging riot gear and trucks and all that. Anyway, so I'm doing that, and I end up at the protest line after giving the dirty eyeball to a million cops. And the wildest thing happened. It was just a regular old protest. I had forgotten a mask, so I said to one of the folks in black, they're the helpers, um, and I was like, I forgot my mask because the guy was trying to talk to me, and he was like, let me go get you one, and he got me one, so I got a mask, and then I was able to talk to people, and then I noticed that this cop was actually talking mildly to a woman who was very irate because fucking Tacoma cops are running over people out here, and he was talking, but he wasn't doing the bullshit bitch back that you sometimes get at protests. Like this guy, there was something wrong, and he wanted to repeat the propaganda, and I realized that he was young and that he had this haunted look in his eyes. And I was like, that's my guy. And I leaned in and I was like, excuse me, officer, can I ask you some questions? And his sergeant or whatever is walking up and down like running interference. And eventually what I realized is this motherfucker has seen it. And I was like, were you here for this event? And he was like, no, I rendered aid right after. And I was like, so you rendered aid on the person that was run over by your own police department? And oh, he looked messed up. The guy's name is Jay Levitt. Any journalists out there with more resources than I, talk to this motherfucker. Get this guy behind closed doors. Tell him to help you build an investigation. This cat will be your whistleblower. I've never seen a cop so ready to talk. I'm telling y'all, we need that. That's the next step in our plan to destroy the fucking police, is for good cops to come up in here and be like, yo, this is what I saw. This is what I took part in, or like, this is what I've been keeping quiet and it's been weighing me down. And all of them, right? George Floyd didn't just die. Guy put his knee on him until he died, and his friends just stood around and watched. All right? It's those friends we need to quit the force and tell the truth. And that's what I told this guy several times. And then I went on like a perimeter sweep and met up with Q13 Fox, the journalists, getting their cameras set up and shit. And I told the guy, he was a floppy-haired youngster journalist. I was like, who's this? Is he an intern? Anyway, he could have played the Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror. Anyway, he's got his mask on and he's just being all extra. And I was like, yo, I have a story for you. This cop, he's ready to talk. Get him behind closed doors. Have a producer talk to this guy. I bet you can learn some shit. Follow the feelings, man. Get your story. Because what I'm thinking is, right, this cop, he just wants to do his job. And he's like, oh shit, here's somebody who's been hurt. oh shit, now I have to guard the perimeter while the Puyallup police make an investigation. One of my officers might go to jail for murdering somebody. Like, he probably wants to be checking Twitter to find out if the person died at the hospital or not. He's probably worried. And I'm like, my mind is just turning. I'm like, Jay Levitt, somebody find that cat. If he's your neighbor, if he's your brother or your dad, whoever the fuck, talk to Jay Levitt, Officer Levitt of the Tacoma Police Department. Get this kid to talk. And I will be happy to do it off the record. You can record with like a voice, one of those things, whatever the noise is. Man, yeah, we need you fucking cops to tell the truth. People need to know what really goes on back there, like, because this video and all the videos we've seen, tip of the iceberg. I want details. I want to know who that was driving that vehicle. I want to know how many times they've been reprimanded, how many times they've beat a spouse. I want the nitty gritty. Come at me. Pass this message along. It's El Jefe Tacoma. I have a podcast, Everything is Awesome, where I talk about this shit. Contact me at EIA Podcast on Twitter. I'm at El Jefe Tacoma. Yeah, like this protest, I mean, we could be seeing riots tomorrow, tonight. Who knows? If this person dies in the hospital, like, shit is serious, y'all. Something needs to be done. And defund the police is cute and all, but when your police are out here murdering, maybe it's time to cut it to the studs, burn it all the way to the ground, and rebuild it back up with regular people in charge instead of these police unions. Break it up into several different departments. There should be a, hey guys, cool it with your street race or whatever team that just goes down there and, nicely distributes the crowd and says, let's time to wrap it up. Instead of fucking cops rolling in and running people over. And motherfuckers just have to take it because they have guns. Well, guess what? One of these days, folks aren't going to take it. And things are going to get worse. Tonight, it was some people banging on the side of your vehicle. I've seen Westworld. I know where this leads. Cops, quit or tell the truth. One or the other. Both, preferably. These departments need to be brought down. They need to be shut down. We need to end them. Tacoma PD has failed. Get rid of it. Richardson out. Fuck the police.